It looks like
Hello.
You want to know about the Gambia entertainment industry. You want to know the existing policies and programs of the arts and culture sector. You want to know about the governance and management of the arts associations. The program will throw a fresh light on the entertainment industry in focus. We will touch so many angles about the cultural sector, the opportunities and challenges, and interrogate them, and most importantly, offer solutions.
Hello and welcome to the showbiz in focus, powered by the Gambian Talents TV. And I am your presenter, Kalilu Banja. And tonight I have two distinguished guests from the Gambia and outside the Gambia. We will be talking about so many things and development taking place in the music industry of the Gambia. You can all recall that in the past days, there has been some controversies with regards to some of the statements made by some artists and also discussions taking place in the music sector. We will want to look into those issues, and generally we'll be talking about promotion and music production in the Gambia. So my guests, welcome to the show. First of all, I would like to start with Mbai Bite. Mbai, welcome to the show. You are the one in the Gambia.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Carl. Thanks a lot. I'm honored to be around, to be quite honest with you. Yes.
Okay. We want you also to tell us a little bit about yourself, probably so that the viewers can know who you are, what you do at the moment. Bye.
One of the most difficult questions ever. Well, like you said, my name is Mbai Bite, a Gambian from the Gambia. I am the manager of Humanity Stars Music Group, otherwise band. Well, I am also the ambassador for Visa for Music, which is a very big festival in Morocco. Aside that, too, I'm an actor.
Okay.
Well, I can't say a renowned actor, but trust me, I'm yearning for something big when it comes to acting. Aside that, I work at AfriCell as a marketing supervisor. Recently, I co-produced Kirmbai, which is a series, sort series with Artist Studio. What else? I know I'm involved in a lot of things, but Kevin, I think those are enough. I guess those are enough.
Yeah, we are very much interested in three of the things that you are doing, which is the manager of the Humanity Stars. These are young musicians who have a band, an existing working band, and which is very important in the music sector. And we also know that you are collaborating with Arterial Network, which is a Pan-African movement that's the Visa for Music program in Morocco, which is also very important because you are the one approving those coming to that festival, and a lot of people don't know about that.
Particularly from Gambia.
About that also, and you are also the marketing supervisor at AfriCell. So you are the ones giving artists contracts with regards to performances that they are making, or can we say, how do you call it? Agreements, the kind of agreements they sign with you, contracts.
Yeah, my job at AfriCell is not working with endorsed artists, to be specific. But what I basically do is, apart from the marketing side, looking for subscribers to AfriCell, I also I'm also part of those responsible for sponsorship that when artists have their events and stuff like that, and the letters are brought before my table, I do work on the letters and support them in every bit and piece that I can, to get their events supported and the way that it should be. So yes, that indirectly I support artists
Yeah,
when
so
when
that is
when
that
someone
is what I'm
working.
saying. Like endorsements that artists enter in with the company. So it starts from your decks and then goes to the
Uh,
higher.
no, the way we have endorsement deals, that is
Mm-hmm.
a person responsible for the endorsement deals directly, and
Mm-hmm.
this person usually identify artists that we think we can work with. But the artists that I work with personally are general artists, general
Mm-hmm.
events. It might not only be artists, but even events outside. So
Okay.
that there is a difference. But this person is specifically responsible for the Jizus, the Aliu Badaras, you understand, the Mike Jaders, the Big Fast. Those are endos artists. I understand Jizus on ran out of contract. But the Mike Jaders, Aliu, Big Fa, and Sister Njai and others, yes. There is someone responsible for them.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Bite.
Yeah.
So Mr. Lamin Toure, Master
Yeah.
Lion. I know you as Master Lion. Some time ago, I think you were managing who is that? This artist, Benjamin. So if I could remember, no, not even managing him, you were promoting Benjamin during that time. That was the period that I knew you. And so can you tell us something about yourself as a promoter? I could also remember some time ago you brought Morgan Heritage in Germany and you were having a couple of shows and we met also in Stuttgart. So yeah, so tell us something about you.
Firstly, Kalilu, thank you for having me. I'm honored to be here. And then, secondly, I'm honored to be in this platform, which is run by my big boss. Maybe you
We
might
are
never
grateful
know.
to have you.
Pausman
We are
Jim.
grateful
No,
to have you.
Pausman Jim is my big boss.
We are grateful to have you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, officially, I am Lamin Toure, known by many as Master Lion, promoter, and then I used to manage some artists, Gambians
Okay.
and Jamaicans, and then I work also as a booking agent,
Okay.
for different artists. Yeah, I work also as a tour manager, road manager for different artists. So
Okay.
right now, based in Finland for quite a long time. And then back in Gambia, born and raised in Brikama, we call it Brixton.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Wow.
So yes, I have been on this musical journey for quite a long time because it's since early '91 I
Mm-hmm.
started journey in Gambia. So it has been really a long, long journey. But I give thanks.
Okay. Thank
But
you so much.
right now I'm here. I'm not a promoter
Ah,
because I kind of I give up on the music field because I have so many things to do. So I'm now behind the scene.
no, but just recently you brought some Gambian artists to in
Yeah,
Finland,
I was
and they made a very immense performance. Royal Messenger and Jibu Balagay. I could remember that they
exactly.
were on a tour in Sweden, and they passed through.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
we leave. Yeah.
I booked them on a show in Helsinki because I have an annual event here, which is all white party. So
Okay.
Royal Messenger and G, they were my guest artists by then. And also I was touring with ENC in European tour. We did
Yeah.
a lot of tours and it was really great. Like I
Okay.
said, I organized a lot of tours for different artists, Gambians, and actually ENC was the first Gambian to have a European tour with because
Okay.
otherwise I book Gambian artists in Helsinki.
Okay.
Yeah, so I did a lot of tours with Jamaicans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
So as a road manager and at the same time, as a promoter, like a seasoned promoter, whereby, but you are telling us now that I mean, you leave the industry. That part
uh,
I could understand.
yeah,
If you
Kalilu,
what is the
I
problem?
think No. It's not a problem because the thing is that I have been on this for so long, and then I have so many things on the pipeline, so I
Okay.
can't run many sides at the same time. Because
Okay.
if I have to work effectively in music, I need to give it a time. So
Exactly.
also as a family man, and then I have regular work here also, and then same time I'm doing my master's degree, so I have
Okay.
so much running at the same time. So yeah,
Okay.
but
So we
in the
will
music
come to that.
field, music is me for. I think it will always be in me. So in the music field, I'm now behind the scene, so I can also contribute in one way or the other. But it cannot be like a working full time as a promoter or a road manager or a tour manager and stuff. But I'm
Okay.
always willing to support at least to my level.
Okay. Yeah, we understand that. We understand that. At some point, that is all we can do because someone like me also, that is the same thing happening at the moment because now I'm going to school and then I'm working at the same time. So I cannot be like 100% involved in the
Exactly.
music sector. But the little things that I can do, I do that, from this end, supporting other people, and I think we will always continue to do that behind the scenes, and that
That's
is the
great.
reason why a lot of people don't even know me, even though that people like my Peter will hold my neck on the streets when I was in the
Definitely.
Gambia, to tell me, no,
That's
Kalilu,
true.
I mean, you guys have to do this, Kalilu, why you are not doing that for us? So now I am free. I am free that I can sleep. No one will hold me to ransom.
That's
So, yeah. So it's interesting that we are talking about these things because the motive is to at least share knowledge, experiences, and ideas about the music sector so that the young
yeah,
people could be able to learn from that, and particularly our musicians, the music fraternity. And, because knowledge is power and is very, very important. That we share knowledge, even though we cannot give people money, but we can share knowledge with them, and they can benefit from that. So, and that is
yeah.
the reason why we are having one of the youngest managers before in the history of the Gambia, Mbaibite. He is managing a very young band, and this band is set up by the Red Cross International and in collaboration with the Gambia Red Cross Society. So it was like a
Mhm.
school, but a lot of people don't recognize it. So, Mbai, can you tell us something about the Humanity Stars band, the Red Cross band, which was then the Red Cross band?
Yeah, Humanity Star started way back in 2004
Mhm.
when we had some young people who were definitely talented in those days in form of singing, acting, dancing, and all that. So the idea came that there is a need to nurture those talents, and Red Cross up till now the magnitude of volunteers is very huge. So as a result, there was a need to bring those young talents together, and form something that could earn them living. So that was why the idea of the band came about. So, but the idea started with an Icelandic volunteer, a
Mm-hmm.
reporter from Iceland, who at that time when he came here and on his way back home, he was trying to get some music from the Gambia at the airport, and unfortunately couldn't have a single CD or cassette at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So when he started speaking to a guy called Fabakari Kale with
Mm-hmm.
regard to the young talent that he saw in the Gambia, that it should be, molded into something, then they approach us, you understand? So, and we welcome the idea that there needs to be something. So when some of us were told about it, because in those days, as a volunteer, everyone knows that Mbai is just talented. I used to sing, I
Mm-hmm.
used to dance,
Mm-hmm.
and I am still acting. So
Okay.
this is what happened in our time. So what actually happened, then we welcomed the idea of forming a band and things like that. So we did an audition, Banjul KM, then we picked some people who I think as of now we only have about four of us who were in the band from day one. That's myself, Aliu Murujuf, that we call Dr. Dre, and Mutar. Apart from that, we didn't have like the core people that formed the band. They're not there anymore. So this is it. So and we started as a training, like the band started training, rehearsing on their own. We had about almost 5 years indoors, learning instruments, chords here and there, how to sing, how to drum. Then Bubakar Ba was the music teacher at that time. He was the one helping the formation of the band and the singers and things like that. So there was no one in the band who came with a talent, like as in he was a singer or something like that. No.
Apart from Bubakar, because
apart from Bubakar.
Okay.
So meaning all the Red Cross volunteers who are in the band, they were just singing chala chala or what we call wuyentu, but they were not professional singers or anything. So that's how everyone was molded. And today I can boast that Humanity Stars is the champion of Mbala in the Gambia, and no one can challenge that. You understand? And it's a youth band. It's still a youth band. Though when some of us were there since from the beginning, our faces were younger, and everyone was way younger than this. Because in those days, you only have the 15s, the 16s, the 18s, and so on. But now, most of them are in their late 20s, so it started.
Because I could remember we had a program at KWT Radio, which was the Bakau N, So by then, Fatoumata Sandem was around 14 years. So she was 13. So after the interview, you had wanted that we go with her, but again, you were not very sure. So because you are protecting her as a young lady, I can still remember that. So you said, okay, we all have to go together because you have to ensure that the kid is, you bring the kid home.
True. Because that's how we were brought up in the Red Cross as well. We watch each other's back, and being the elders in the group, and as a manager for that matter, I never take chances of anything. Carl, that's one of the reasons why the boys never played in the industry. You understand? Because I tend to keep them far from the smoking, the drinkings, and all that. Because we have our respect and integrity to defend as a Red Crosser. Because these are some of the ethics that we were taught. So despite being an artist doesn't mean that you're supposed to spoil yourself. There are lots of things that surrounds you. And the likes of Sandeng, Aliu, and all that, they all graduate. So the thoughts as in music, it was more focused on business than a hobby or something that will spoil your life. You understand? So that's how we took it to be. And personally, I wouldn't associate myself with anything that would tarnish my image or destroy the young people that they, entrust me with. So I would rather protect them with my life than, just let it loose like that. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Mbai. I think that is very important, and that will bring us to the controversies that are happening. And I would like to throw that to Mr. Lion. Master Lion, what do you take? What is your stand with regards to the controversy with regards to One Pac, and also, artists maybe using the F word and then, raising their middle fingers and things like that? What's your take on that? What kind of artists do you want to see in our society as a promoter?
Well, to be honest, it's a difficult question because something I know based on experience is that sometimes it's difficult to share your own opinion, how you see something with our Gambian artists. I mean, because as an artist, this is a career you want to take seriously. If you want to take it as a profession, you have to take it seriously, and that means you need to understand the professionalism as an artist.
Exactly.
Because the message you are sending out there, you need to understand it's not only you, it's going all over. So
Exactly.
using F word or middle finger, well, it depends the kind of music you do, because for example, if you check in the hip hop scene, they use those kind of words more often. But
Exactly.
if you check in Gambian music, you as an artist need to understand, or you have to ask yourself whether those words are suitable or relevant for your fans, because yeah, to me, I think that there's lack of professionalism at some point, because those
And
are words
someone
we.
was saying, I don't want to cut you, but someone was saying,
Mm,
like using the middle finger or even using the F word, that was a kind of a
yeah,
style and a brand for a particular artist in the Gambia. And I can only agree with him to some extent because,
yeah,
the vibes cattle generation, I used to say the vibes cattle generation, we have that in the Gambia. They only believe
mm.
in pasa pasa, and they also believe in dancehall music, the hot one, whereby. So, do they care, or are we trying to say that we should inculcate morals and good values into the young generation? Is that what you are talking about?
I think we artists need to send a positive message to the world. That's the most important thing. And if you're sending a message that you, for example, every song there's a motive behind, you know.
Exactly.
So the message you are sending to people out there, you as an artist need to know,
Mm-hmm.
because if you are sending those kind of negative words, for example, it will
Mm-hmm.
end up being a negative impact in your career in the long run. So I think they need to understand which word they are using when they are on stage, or even in a song, or and anywhere. They just need to understand that this middle finger or F word, as long as they voice it out, is going viral, so everybody can see it.
Okay, that is true.
Yeah.
We can agree with that. We can agree with that. But what experience
Mm.
do you have with the Jamaican artists that you were managing before? Do you think that when they record like songs whereby you have the F words, normally that doesn't replicate into their major records? Because someone was telling me something like that, that they do dual
Uh,
records.
well, the artist I manage,
Mm-hmm.
there is no song with those kind of words, to be honest. Because if you check reggae music, you will you won't easily find F words, or even reggae artists performing saying those kind of words, or say middle finger, to be honest. I don't see.
Okay.
Mostly it can be from the dancehall artists, and not even all of them. Some of
Mm-hmm.
them will use. But responsible artists, they know what they are doing. They know the kind of word they are spreading to the world. So these are things. For example, artists need to have their management board.
Mm-hmm.
If you record a song, I know I was with the artist in the studio, Gambian here, Mediator, for example.
Mm-hmm.
So in the chorus, there are words.
So, by
Yeah,
far, we move.
You know,
Wow.
nice.
that's not fair.
Yeah.
You need somebody to guide you before
Mm-hmm.
you publish the song, because
Mm-hmm.
those are important. The words in the song, the content of the song. You
Mm-hmm.
need to you need to you need to wait properly before you release it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So the artists that I manage, to be honest, none of them use those kind of words. Not even
Okay.
on stage. Yeah. Not even on
So,
stage.
so, so, so that will take us to Mbaye as a manager of the Humanity Stars. And you talk about something very important, which is about responsible. Artists have to be responsible. And the
Yeah.
responsibility, you are talking about the message that they are sending to the world. And Mbaye, how do you sum up that with regards to Humanity Stars producing a song? What do you do as a
No,
manager?
well, UNT stars will never do that in the first place, because the type of music we do, doesn't accommodate insults, like those kind of insults and stuff like that. No, we don't do it. But in reality, too, I think artists they need to watch some of the things that they bring to the public. Those things are very, very important. Like using the F word from peer to peer is not a big thing, probably. But from the artist to the public, there is a big concern with regards to that. Because, like he said, artists, they're supposed to have management. And if you have a proper management, anything the artist is supposed to post outside should be reviewed. You understand? And in most cases, artists don't actually do their posting. It's the management that does it, if you understand what I mean. They will take photos of the artists and things like that, go to the artist page, either Instagram, Facebook, you name it, on social media, and the management will have to do that. But again, some people do certain things for reasons.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
It could be hype so that they could be talked about. It could be, it might have different motives.
Exactly.
But personally, I wouldn't advise an artist to come out with things like that. Because, for instance, Jizzle, you meet Jizzle from like one-to-one. He's one of the nicest guys you can speak to. You understand? I've never had Jizzle insult, not even in our conversation. I'd be very sincere. So at times they have different motives and things like that. But I'm sure his management would get to work on that.
Exactly. Exactly. So that is the part also, because just like yesterday, there was this article as a Christmas gift, and I have to sum it up into three like statements that for you to be effectively promoted and marketed, in the world as an artist, you need to be seen, heard, and then talked about. So, I mean, this is a kind of a marketing strategy. Sometimes you will see hip hop artists, they will clash. And then it is not necessarily meaning that they hate each other, but they are trying so that the public could be able to, talk about them, and then they can create a momentum.
Momentum, yeah.
A momentum. So that momentum will allow people to talk about them, and then that will promote them. So if they put something there, so people can be able to view it. What do you say to that, Mr. Lion, before we come to
yeah, in terms of for artists to, for example, succeed in the music industry in general, I believe in writing. I always write. I do a lot of research and then write down. Carl, our artists, I mean Gambians, they need to understand in the first place, it implies to everyone, as long as you choose a career, you want to be a musician, you take it as a career, you need to first ask yourself, what do I want to achieve in this?
Exactly.
You need to ask yourself what question, when, and how, and where. So you as an artist, you need to have this task, and then you work on that. What do I want to achieve? So once you know you set your goal, then you know what you are targeting. And then you need to understand that this work, you cannot do it alone. That's why every successful artist, they have a manager. They have a team that they are working with. You can't do everything alone. They need to learn to delegate, because, for example, the management board, they have a big role to play in artist career. So once they set up a management board, and then the management board have a role to play. They will support you to make sure you achieve your goals, you succeed in your career as an artist. So that cover all the marketing, even artist personal things. The management board have a role to play, because they will promote you online, all social media platforms. As long as you are working with them, they make sure they handle their part to support you as an artist, because that's the way you can succeed. Because not only one you cannot do everything by yourself. So that's why, for example, in some point, artists need to have a professional mentor someone
Exactly.
you run to when you need support. There are, every artist even not artists, everybody you have mentor that when in terms of difficulties, there is somebody who is right there you run to. You speak with this person honestly what you're going through. So this person will guide you. So
Yeah,
as an artist, you need. So for some of them, it is the manager who is doing all those stuff. So if you have that person there by your side, and then you have somebody responsible for your social media platform, and so you can succeed.
And then you will not have controversies like that because they will vet the information that is going out. So,
Yeah, it won't easily. I understand because I also work as a DJ. Sometimes artists when they are on stage, when the party is really going nice, then you are just on fire.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that happens a
anyone
lot.
can pop up. Sometimes you understand because I remember I was backing a Gambian artist in Denmark, Abraham Kolanji.
yeah.
Just pull up the song. He has to just pull up the bombo clap with the word that I understand he was already on fire. So at that
Because
point, you understand.
moving, what he was moving.
Those are musical feelings on stage.
Exactly.
It's understandable at some point.
Exactly. So, Mbai, how do you relate to that with regards to the managerial side of it, ensuring that there is what you call vetting process of all, the songs that you produce, and at the same time on the management aspect, what you want to really see that is going to happen with regards to the career management, the career, management.
Okay.
So,
Yeah,
how
I think I've said part of it. That's one of the rules of the management. You understand, like vetting whatever that is coming out of the artist. You understand, like be it the song, be it image, be it words and things like that. Because the difficult part of it is once you are an artist, a known artist for that matter, you are no more yourself. You are no more the person you used to be. You cannot
exactly.
hang out with like any person. You cannot do whatever you want because right now at that point in time, you like belong to the public. You understand? So whatever you do has to be properly watched, or before doing anything, make sure you know that the management vet it and understand that this is definitely good and it's good for media purposes. You
Okay.
understand? Because remember, all these film artists they have paparazzis that are visible and paparazzis that are not visible. You understand?
Exactly.
But at some point, you can sit with people that you think they are just friends, and jokingly, you might say something in there, and all of a sudden, that will go viral. Mr. So and so said this, or artist so and so said this, and it goes viral. And the intention is totally different from what people are taking it to be. You understand? So that's why the management is very, very important. So, for instance, Humanity Stars, like right now, Ali will write his songs. You
Okay.
understand? And I will not be there when he's reading the songs. No, but whatever he is doing, he will record it on his phone and send it to me. You understand? When he send it to me, then I will listen. Boy, fi nga wax ni baax na fii ak fii baax na waaye fooguloo word bi ni soo ko génnee ni and nii. Then we exchange ideas and come to terms. You understand? If the need be, I will tell him, boy, hold on. Let me seek for advice elsewhere. You understand? And that's very, very normal thing that I always do. So I'll seek advice, and based on what the people would advise me, the positive part of it we will take, and the negative part of it we drop it. You
Exactly.
understand? So management is very, very key in artist life, bro. To be quite honest with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because for Nane, every individual artist, every individual artist is like a company. So for you to be able to attract people to buy into that company, you have to be well organized and structured. And then that will take you to the business models. So the family, how business enterprises are set up, that is the same way these artists need to set up. So Master Lion,
Yeah.
now that you are currently undergoing your master's program in business management. So what are some of the tips that you can give us with regards to how these artists could be able to enhance professionalism with regards to marketing and promoting themselves? And with regards to your experience, also with regards to your involvement in the industry in the past years, because you've been contracting Jamaican artists, you've been working with Gambian artists abroad. So what are some experience that you can share with us?
Experience this, I think I see two different questions in this. First, I will talk about the experience I have undergo during this journey. It's a really long journey, like I said. Well, for example, I work with Gambian artists. Not, I manage only one Gambian artist. Yeah. Others, I book them only on a show. But to manage an artist in Gambia was only one artist that I have managed in my career.
Okay.
So, yeah, during those time, I have experienced a lot working with Gambian artists, because there are so many things that they don't understand at some point. If you check in the business,
maybe not about understanding, but they were not structured like that. Can we call it like that?
Exactly.
Okay.
So seeing that in them, you can understand they need to learn a lot in terms of taking the career artists. They have to transform into real business perspective. So you as the manager, you need to guide that artist, for example. So if you check government artists, I mean, in terms of their performance, in terms of management, in terms of even how they work on song, how they perform on stage, all these, there are so many things they need to understand. Because for example, as an artist, the advice I'm gonna share based on experience, they need to get themselves together. As an artist, you need to get yourself together, because that means as an artist, it cannot be like any other business, but also it's a career. So it's a business for you. You have to take it seriously and work hard for that. So, and also you need,
I don't want to cut you, but I want to make this clear, because this conversation is interactive and we want to break things down so that
anytime.
I've been hearing a lot of issues with regards to rejection of visas, like promoters are trying to get an artist abroad, but the artist is rejected. Have you ever encountered problem like that with regards to
I'm coming to that
management setups that were lapses, and then you can share those experience, and so that others don't fall into that trap?
Yeah, like I said, I'm coming to that. When an artist get themselves together, as an artist, you need to get yourself together. You need to set your goals, and then you work along the line to make sure you succeed. And doing this, you need to have a team, like I mentioned before. So after all those stages, you can be sure that well, you will be recognized in Gambia and outside Gambia. It based on the artist target, because I can see so many Gambian artists, maybe their main targets are in Gambia, the Gambian crowd. But if you are targeting the entire world, for example, in a bigger perspective, then you need to work for that. So, for example, based on experience, I have personally invited artists to come on a European tour, and they were rejected. The simple fact was the embassy said they are not convinced that that was the artist.
Wow.
So like I was listening to one of your interview here earlier. One person was contributing about artists need to invest in their own career. They need to have their own bank account. They need to do transaction which will be seen, because for example, embassies, they don't know you, for example, in person. So they go through the papers they have seen, the papers they got in their on their table. So they are not gonna. You can be big in Gambia, but the embassy is looking the papers you have, the professionalism that they have in terms of processing the visa. So you as an artist, you need to make sure you have your own bank account. You need to establish. You need to work hard to make sure you are known all over the world. So in this, the rest will be also. I think, for example, in my case, when an artist was rejected, they were blaming me, which I can't do anything. I wish I'm the one issuing the visa. I will issue. But if an embassy reject based on they are not convinced that you are the artist, that cannot be my fault.
Yeah. So, yes, embassy was not convinced with regards to maybe that is the application process. Some of the things were not properly done. Like you said, if the artist doesn't have any kind of status in his own country, so they will say, okay, we don't believe that when you travel, you will be able to return back to your country.
Brother, something I have to say based on X, because I work with, I have one set of the Senegalese artist Titi and the band. I work on their visa and they got visa to Europe. You understand? I work with many Jamaicans, which I wrote the invitation and send it to the embassy, and they got visa. Our artists need to understand they have to invest or they have to spend money, because if you take a look in Senegal, for example, you have to pay someone like the consultant.
A consultant.
Consultant will do all the paperwork to make sure all the papers that you need are in place before submitting to the embassy. These are things that every artist need to know. If you cannot do it yourself, or you and your management cannot handle everything, involve somebody who have the experience to help you.
Exactly.
So that's where investment comes. So you have the money, you need to invest. Because, for example, me, when I'm inviting an artist, I do a lot of things to support you, which in some cases, the artist or the management should do that. But if I know you don't have those, I have to volunteer and support you wholeheartedly to do those things.
So I think that will come to our question we will pose to Mbai Bite, because he is right now the executive coordinator of Visa for Music, which is a Pan-African initiative organized by Arterial Network every year in Morocco. And in this festival, you have all African countries are invited. So it is an application process that you have to do to be able to get to Visa to Music. There is a lot of presentations going on even without the actual performance. So Mbai, what is the process? How did Humanity Stars come to that fray? Can you tell us something about it?
Yeah, I think I just want to connect with Master Lions here. What he said, with what he said. Carl Lion said exactly some of the things that happened with us as artists from Gambia. I can mainly talk about, because I think, as far as I am concerned, in as much as the international experience I have with regards to artists and performances and stuff like that, I think Gambia, we face most of the difficulties. You understand? And to start with, even the bank statement is a little bit far. But as a Gambian artist, a press kit.
A press kit. Get out. There you
go. They wouldn't know. No, they wouldn't know. Honestly speaking, they wouldn't know. You ask them for a press kit, they'll be like, okay, what do you mean? What press kit? At times, describe the press kit, and some of them will bring you 2 or 3 photos. You understand? So I think these are some of the things that Gambian artists need to know. You understand? First, like, you have to establish yourself. Have a press kit, have a proper structure, a proper management, have your bank statement healthy. Let there be a free flow of money in and out of the bank. You understand? I think those are some of the things that will help the artists and make as much publication or visibility as possible. You understand? So these are some of the things that will help some of the artists in here. Okay, when it comes to visa for music, I've been an ambassador for visa for music for about 3-4 years now. Uh, I think some of the things that I've seen, because apart from Humanity Stars, I've tried for other artists to go, but I could only send media teams from Gambia. You understand? And this is the third part of it. Okay, some of the artists don't have press kit. And in a festival like the Visa for Music, everything is done professionally.
Yeah.
They don't take favors. You understand? No matter how much I say Jisul is big, if he's not properly managed with all the items that they required and in place, they can never take Jisul.
Because there is a consortium, I don't want to cut you, there is a consortium that is going to vet for all the applications that are going. I could remember when Ma'am Lisa was applying, I think, you know, we could not even do that for you because we were late that very year. But there is a vetting process. You cannot say, oh, because Mbaibite is the ambassador from the Gambia, so a Gambian have to be there. But there are other people from other countries all over Africa who also vet those applications. So they have to see quality. Yeah.
Because what I did, Carl, was I had to fight. What I did was I had to follow Lisa and all that to give me the contact person for Visa for Music. Because then I was so much hungry, and I'm still very, very hungry to get Humanity Stars to the international world. So when that contact came, I just sent a message to the guy responsible, Brahim. Then he said he was coming to the Gambia for the Afrima meeting, something like that, for the AU, but the Afrima project.
Yeah, Banjul plus 10. Banjul plus 10.
Banjul plus 10. That was the actual summit. Banjul plus 10. So what happened was I went to their hotel and I introduced myself to him. Then he said, "Okay, let me know." That was the first question he asked me. "Do you have a press kit?" I said, "Yes." I'm gonna give you manager, dig it fit. I'm gonna, yes, we have a press kit. Then he said, "Okay, I will need your press kit, and then I will see what I can do. But it's a little bit late now, but I will see what I can do." So at that night, I didn't rest my head. So when I came, I started Google. I used my laptop to Google what press kit was. You understand? And search for different press kit. Then I said, "This is so simple. Why didn't we have that?" But again, I didn't know, so I killed myself.
But maybe we were talking about these things. You know, sometimes sometimes I'm sitting, I want to cry because at Work Sahalat program, these are some of the things that we've been talking about. We've been talking. We've been managing an artist like King Kora. He was in the press, and we were telling this to Gambian artists, but they don't listen. They don't listen.
But people don't get to learn from their mistake. But as for me, that's where I learned my mistake from. Because I said, okay, so this is exactly. No, Gal, I've been following. Okay, me and you, we know exactly what the things are about. You know, we know exactly what happened in the Gambia. So there and then I forced myself, made this press kit, sent it to him, but he said it was good. But the point was we were late. You understand? So then he said, okay, I advise you to come with your artist, see what Visa for Music is all about, then try to apply next year. And that's how it happened. Yeah, that was the following year on 2017. So with God's help, everything went on as planned. The next year we applied and we were accepted. And the entire band went to Morocco and did a marvelous performance. Very, very good performance.
So, you know what I want to say? Sirifo Kanute was part of the Arterial Network conference in South Africa. And Awodi from Senegal was doing a presentation. And Sirifo Kanute told me, he said, "Kalilu, I saw a lot of these big artists from Africa making presentations, but we can do that."
Yes.
No wonder when you were appointed, you, Mbaibite, was appointed as an ambassador of Visa for Music. So it was not a surprise to me because I knew you got the stuff. So maybe you went there and did a presentation. They said, "Wow, so this is what is happening in Nigeria." Because
I didn't stop you, but like there is I feel more important when I get to Morocco than the Gambia. I'll be very honest with you. Okay, we
They,
knew each other way before, and you know my potential. But Gambia, we're the type of country that look down on people. You understand?
Exactly.
I know my stuff. When I got to Morocco,
Yeah.
everyone was like, "Where's this guy from?" But when
yeah.
in Morocco, they paid my air ticket and everything, and an escort from the airport in Casablanca, from Casablanca down to Rabat. So that's how it works. So
Oh
when
my.
I recommend anything for them, it gives some dividends. But the problem is, if I recommend any artist and I didn't have a proof, that's where the problem lies.
The problem.
You
That's
understand?
what.
And some of the artists in the Gambia can attest to that.
Mhm.
You
That's what.
understand? They could attest to that.
You know,
So I didn't try to limit myself to humanity stars. Yeah, yeah, come on, come.
yeah. No, I was saying that was exactly what
Come.
Lion was talking about.
Carl, to add
Exactly.
something to that, um,
Yeah.
our artists, they need to know so many things, because, like I said, if you take um, if you take a career to be an artist, you need to be very serious. You need to know the professionalism in that. You
Mhm.
maybe there are so many government artists, they don't even issue a contract, performance
Mhm.
contract. If you request, they ask me as a promoter to write it. Of course, the artist management should send a promoter a contract. This is one of the problem I have
Mhm.
experienced. Secondly, this press kit, like he was just mentioning, so many artists, they don't provide those kind of things. So I think they only feel like when you need their service, you just have
Mhm.
to book them. If they have to
Mhm.
travel, book their flights and everything, and that's it. Before you get to that stage,
Mhm.
for example, your previous interview, I was listening. One of your guests was saying
No,
so
it
many
was
government art.
Paos. Okay,
Yes,
Paos man.
not Paos. I think it was Idol Music mentioned a good part that how many so many government artists are not even crossing the border. That means
Exactly.
if your music is not marketable outside there, international promoters, before they book you, there are so many things that they follow in order
Mhm.
for them to be convinced to book you. So
Mhm.
if, for example, me as an international promoter, I'm not from Gambia, for example, I need to book you as an artist. I need to know if you don't have
Mhm.
press kit, your management don't even have contact and so on. How can you convince me? Because you need to understand, why should I book you? Why should I book this artist? So there
Exactly.
are so many things they need to understand, because that's why I mentioned earlier, artists need to invest and make sure they have professional manager. Money is good, yes, but remember, when you have a good team, you have a good management, you get paid. Then that's the time you start to enjoy
So it's a
your real artist will
it's a
come and perform
merry-go-round. It's
and
a
you don't.
merry-go-round. Yeah, it's a merry-go-round. I don't want to cut you. It's a
Exactly.
merry-go-round. That is why the music industry, it has a change. Even an artist need a bodyguard when you are performing, because they have to protect you and give you security. And you need instrumental players. These are human resources that you have, and then you have to work with them with love and understanding to make perfection with regards to the music that you are composing. You need a road manager, you need a financial manager, you even need a lawyer to interpret, the copyright law.
Yeah, that's
Some
what
of
I
the
said.
contracts. Yeah.
Yeah,
They
so
need to put themselves together, Carl. Sorry to interrupt you. Our artists need to understand this is a career, this is your life, this is what you want to do as your career. So you have to take it seriously. Make sure you transform. Like this guy also was saying, Idol. How can
mhm,
we transform this hype into professionalism? It's very important. It's not
exactly,
just about you hold a microphone and that's it. No, the business part of it, it's very important. That's the part you win. That's where you get paid. So if you don't put professionalism in there, it will be very difficult for you to succeed. For example, from real experience, I booked so many Gambian artists on, in Gambian way, how to say, verbally. You
verbally.
understand? Nakewa. You just call and talk with the artist, and that's it. Then that's this, you put the artist on a show. But in a professional way, you need to do it in written format. You write a contract, you agree, and the artists agree. Then both of you are in safe side. But for example, I did a lot of shows in Gambia with artists. You understand? And they, for me, they said they want to come and support. When we do agreement verbally, it's not professional. This is not concrete, because artists can fail you, you can't do anything. You can fail the artist, he can't do anything. So to make sure everything is professional, they need to start to write contract. You understand? Lately, even in Finland here, once it's Gambian artists, I ask them to write contract, and then you send your contract to me, because I had lots of complaints, so many allegations. So that's why I changed my way, the way I work with Gambian artists and every artist, because Jamaican, they will not do any show without contract.
Exactly.
So Gambian also, they need to make sure they have a contract with every promoter, even in Gambia. It doesn't matter your friend or whoever. As long as you're gonna perform, make sure it is in a professional way. Write a contract and you agree. So there you put what you request from the promoter or from the whole show, and then the promoter agree and you agree. Then you are in safe side in case of anything. So in here, the first artist I started to sign a contract was T Smalls. I worked with him a couple of times, but the second one I asked a contract and they provide. Very easy. And also when I was bringing a Royal Messenger and G from a Gambian agent, I think it's Sekou Jallo in Oslo, Sex, sent a contract, and he knows how we deal. I said to him, I will work professionally in this like I do for any other artist. We signed a contract, and it was we handle it as agreed. That's how they need to understand, you know.
Yeah, you are mentioning some professional artists, you know, people that I can say they are professional in the music scene. Royal Messenger, T Smalls, you know, and G, and the Humanity Stars, you know. These are organized people. You know, the Jalimadis, you know, these are organized people. I don't even need to mention names, but we want to learn.
I have to say something here, Carl. When it comes to Humanity Band, I have to say this too. When it comes to Humanity Stars, when I was setting Peter and was it Peter and Grams in Gambia, we first wanted to do a band show. So they asked me. They asked whether there are any band in Gambia to play for them. I said yes, we have Humanity Stars, and then there's the other one I forget.
Holy Family.
Holy Family Band.
Yeah. So I mentioned these two. You know, they were almost convinced, but later they decided, okay, let's do a track show. Otherwise, I will contact them straight. So you can know. For example, it depends how you take your profession seriously. Then you never know where it can end, because there are so many bands in Europe here. Jamaican artists come all the way from Jamaica back by band in Europe here. It's very easy. But if they don't see potential, if they don't see professionalism in what you are doing, they will not work with you. That's easy.
Exactly. So how do you do it at your level, by before we come to and we are on an hour mark, and maybe probably we will add some 20 or 10 minutes, but how do you do it with Humanity Stars with regards to those little technical? How do you transform now, like from the level you were and then now the skills you gathered?
Yeah, I think when it comes to that, I think we're trying our best to maintain standards, to set standards. However, Gambia, it's a little bit difficult. I always complain about Gambia because Gambia is a very difficult nation when it comes to supporting what belongs to them. You understand? At times here, the difficult part we are faced with is an institution or a promoter or a group might approach you for a performance. You talk to them about contract. The next minute they will be like, "Ni ham nañ seen bopp yow." You
Ah,
understand? They will
okay.
not take the professionalism part of it. But next
No.
minute they will say, that's the question they will say, "Ni ham nañ seen boppa. Contract la ñoo laajte di ay procedures yu gudda yooyu noonu oil diw yow mu ñu player la sharp sharp." So you understand, those are some of the hurdles. But at times we will force the approach. We will let the verbal agreement go and everything. Then we seal a deal and everything. Then based on what we agree verbally, that's what we present to you to sign.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
So some people we will have it very, very easy with them to sign the contract and we just have the program done. But some of them will be like, "Ni daal xaw ma lan lañ bëgg di ma jox contract pour ma sign," and things like that. You understand? So that's very difficult at times. But there are some
Even
institutions.
the big companies. So you are talking about even the big companies, like the big companies doing their gala dinners and the companies that are organizing, corporate
Yes, because
events.
because it's not the company as a structure that will come and approach you. They will send individuals. So these individuals,
An
they
individual.
at times, yes, these individuals at times they will not want to take responsibilities. You understand? But some of them, to be quite honest, they are very professional that they will even present a contract for you.
Okay.
If you understand what I mean, they
Mm-hmm.
present a contract for you and you sign the contract, then you go like Port. I remember Port sometime in February, they approached us for their this Senegal or Gambia. They, brought us a contract to sign and things like that, and everything was done professionally. We have no hiccups, no problems here and there. Some of them, some other institution, they would just put their phone. It's in by Vite, yeah, the manager of Humanity Stars. And I was like, yes, yes, yes. Then I'm program so and so. What are you charging? Carl, where the first problem would lie is even if I say a charges of something like a 50,000, they will like, what? Gambian band, they charge 50,000.
50,000.
That's
So
what I'll
because
say, yo.
they don't understand the time that you spend to rehearse as a band, the time that you spend to think about the melodies in your head and crack your brain, and then the time that you spend to go to the studio to finalize those songs, and then the problems you individually have as a group at your family
Yeah,
level. So they don't put all that
and
into
Carl,
context. And then they also forget the fact that the labor laws define musicians as working artists. So the way you are paying a minister on a monthly salary, or you are paying a technician on a monthly salary who is employed by the government, is different in the labor laws determination with a working artist who is a musician. But again, my
exactly.
point here is, why is it that Gambian artists, like we were saying, proper management, why they cannot do collective management and collective baggaging, supported by a musicians union, which is going to be an institution that will protect their interests and their rights? Why that is not happening?
Carl, Carl, maybe let's forget about why and
Mhm.
assume that there will be solution with the interim music union executive. Because we all no, because the thing is that there's never going to be a solution to it, or
Okay.
you have a reason. Because the simple fact is, most
Mhm.
of them will say, or all of us will ask the same question, but the
Mhm.
people responsible will never take responsibility of what they are supposed to do. If you
Exactly.
understand what I mean. Instead, they will try to sift blames here and there,
Mhm.
go come here, and people don't actually have time. So
Mhm.
what we say is probably the interim executive of the union might start helping us, because you go to other countries,
Mhm.
there are standards when it comes to their music. They
Exactly.
have the VIPs, the
Mhm.
second VIPs,
Mhm.
and those that we know they are middle class artists and things like that.
The
And usually,
amateurs.
an
Mhm.
artist of human exactly wouldn't ask for bigger price when they're supposed to ask for something, moderate.
In
If you
change.
understand what I
Yeah,
mean.
in change. Yeah.
But here it's on the other way around. You will see a lot of artists. Exactly. And if the top guy from over there, asks for something huge, and they'll be like, Kimba Hamna Boba. I remember, Carl,
Like,
one of the things that I would never forget in the history of managing a music group is when I went to negotiate a contract with one of the biggest institutions that most of us put our monies in. You understand? This institution they were calling Yushindu. So when they called some other Gambian artists to be there to perform, you know, and I went there and they were like humanity stars. Then 15,000 lelenajo. I was like, no, I don't remember charging 15,000. And they said, no, you don't charge. We give you 15,000 to perform. I asked them, why should that be? And they were like, yen tahole new Orlando, naka yen tahole niti di ñode, yishindu mota niti di ñew. So solen buge ngeen jël ko solen ko bu ngeen buy. Knowing the type of person I am, I know that yeah. And I said instantly, if it was Mumbai and Mumbai alone, I would never come to that place again, never. You understand? So I consulted my guys. I told them, well, these people disrespected us by saying this and this and this. And in fact, we were the guys that were paid the most from the Gambian side. That's the funny part of it, you know. We were the people that were paid most. So what actually happened is I contacted these people and they were like, no, bro, the only reason that we might take this gig is because probably they're gonna add at TFM and we will have the chance to be watched by different people, particularly the diaspora. You understand? And this particular institution, when the then president said that no Senegalese artists, they were the one that was calling us, come and help us. You understand? And we charge them whatever we want and they will have to pay that. But when Yaya later opened the doors for the Senegalese artists, they said 15,000, take it or leave it.
Oh my God.
That's how sad this country is. So, I mean, most of these artists, the Jesus, the STs, the Attacks, and all of that, making money right now, they are making money because of their own shows. In most cases, 80% of their earnings came from the shows that they organize themselves and not Gambian calling them. So that's how hard it is. You understand? So, but Carl, if I'm just gonna sum that thing because of time, I would say let the Gambian people start recognizing the efforts we put in the music industry. You will not have Aliu Badara to compose his song like you said, bring it to rehearsals, and we consume electricity. The boys trying to crack their brains. And Carl, you know us. We hardly copy a track from someone. Everything is original from start to end when it comes to Humanity Stars. You understand? Yeah. And right now, billahi, wherever we put up a show, munga dem ngane lay gumani, why do most of them ngane these people didn't show. Or
Exactly. So
this is the thing. So,
and the quality that they are talking about, it is also about the materials. Because the technical materials that Yusundur will buy and come along with, if they are paying Humanity Stars also that enough money, you will be able to buy new technologies that you can be able to put in your performance, and it will make the music just like the one that you are recording from the studio. So, Master, what do you say to that?
No, before Master comes in, I want to tell you.
This is getting interesting. This is the problem with this.
No. Right now, Carl, with Humanity Stars, the instruments we have right now, we've been using them for close to 10 years. And these are the instruments we use for rehearsals and use them for performance. As we speak, Humanity Stars don't have a complete PA system for live music. You understand? And these are things that are really disheartening, and we want to have to complete ourselves as a complete band. We rent it out, and imagine you paying us $50,000 is for a performance. We have to take at least 15,000 from that money to go and rent a sound system.
Exactly.
To get a complete. Exactly. This is what I'm telling you. So, Carl, Master is sitting there. I'm sure he has connection. Let him help with instruments, sound systems, and all that.
No. So, Master, you hear what he is saying?
Very interesting.
Because Lamin Jai is renting his PA system for nothing more than $250,000 for an event. But again, for a smaller scale, he can charge you up to $50,000 because the materials are brand new and they are very good. So if you pay Humanity Stars $15,000 to perform for performance, how do you expect them to get those things right? The gadgets will not be okay.
Carl, allow me to come, because I work as I organize I have my own festivals, so many. I have street reggae festival, which is Banso. I have reggae reggae jam here, which I do. It's a combination of Banso and Traxo. I have to summarize this. I have so many annual events in Finland here. Master Lion birthday bash is an annual event. Street reggae is an annual event. So what I'm trying to say here is that
no, I don't want to. I don't want you. I don't want to cut you. You have a very important thing you told me, and Gambians have to know that. So when you organizing those shows, the city that you reside in, they support you. They give you support to do those things because you are entertaining people. Huh? Is that right?
Exactly. Yeah, that's right.
So continue from there.
I will first elaborate on what he was saying in terms of booking. For example, me as a promoter, I need humanity stars. That's why I said this. Every artist, whether you have a band or you are a solo artist, you need to organize yourself, because when me as a promoter need your service, like humanity stars as band to perform, either to back an artist or they come with their own vocalist, they have to send me a contract, and secondly, they have to send me a backline. That means they don't have to pay the backline. Me as the organizer should take care of the PA system in the first place, because I should, when they send me their backline, that means all what the band needs, they should send to me in advance, the technical rider. So this technical rider include everything that what the band needs. So me as the event organizer, I'm the one to pay that. The money I'm going to pay to humanities.
No, you are talking about some important things.
The money I'm gonna pay to humanities stars is only for their performance. It's not to pay for them to rent a PA system or whatever. I'm only paying for their performance. So it's the organizer who should provide the PSC. I have seen that in Gambia many times, because some things I see lack of professionalism in that. Because that's why I said it's very important for every artist to organize themselves, because you are going to perform as an artist. Your role, that's why, for example, me, when I'm touring with an artist, I send you a contract. Whether it's a band show or it's a track show, I will send you as a promoter. For example, tour manager, I send to contract to a promoter. That contract will contain everything what the artist require. So you follow that. If you fail to follow, you can lose a show. Sometimes if I send, like promoters, I send some of them a contract, they don't even understand. They see so many rules in there. But this is very important for everyone, because you need to understand your own value. You need to know what the promoter should do and what you as an artist should do. This is why you have to agree. So all these are lacking in Gambian music industry, in many artists, to be very honest, because there are so many things that our artists they will do or die to make sure they have. It's not even them who should do those things. The event organizer should take care of those.
Exactly. So yeah, that is true. That is very true. And by what is your reaction to that before we finally conclude the show? Because the heat is getting a little bit hot, but
the time is small. The time is
2 hours, and we want people to enjoy the show also, so that when they see
the time is very short.
Carl, regarding the offer they gave to them, the 15,000, I think the event organization, most like me, Masterline, if I need an artist on my show, I contact you directly or indirectly. We discuss, and I will send. Normally, you have to send the artist the request. You request the service of the artist, and then the artist will. For example, if you write directly to the artist, he or she will direct you to his management or her management. So the management will start to deal. You negotiate the business with them in advance. Understand? Until you agree on a specific price. So there will be no surprise. You go and they say, "I'm going to offer you this amount." So once you and the event organizer agree on a price, when they offer you something, you direct to them to the agreement you people have.
Yeah, I think your problem, your analysis is a little bit different with the Gambian situation, because what is happening is there are very unorganized musicians who are partaking in the music sector of the Gambia. So if you go to Humanity Stars and they apply professionalism, so they go to these unprofessional artists and those people
this makes it difficult. This makes it difficult.
Yeah, so this is the problem. But to be able to, we cannot force people to say, "Oh, you have to be professional," because one will say, "Okay, it is them who will decide who they can be." But again, there must be some kind of regulations to be able to regulate this sector, because of the music industry, as we want to call it, is a sector. So the sector must be governed by policies and regulations, so that and frameworks, so that we can be able to benefit from it as a nation. I think that is the point that we have to look forward to. And
the simple thing, Carl, is artists, they need to have a management. That's to summarize everything. They need to have a proper management. So this management will make sure they work with contract. Whoever needs your service, that's it. So you will not face any kind of call and direct call and then you agree verbally. No, just make sure you work professionally. When somebody needs your service, direct them to your management, and the management will do the business part of it. Then you good to go.
So you see, all the guests that I have on my platform, no one was satisfied with the time, because we can go along, we can go on and on.
We started the program late, so you need to
rotating you again. I will be rotating you again and fusing you with other people again to continue this discussion, this very important discussion that is partaking in our music sector. So, but again, I want you to tell the viewers your last words. That is, what is the way forward for Gambian music? And this goes to both of you. What do you think we should be able to do from now on as a people?
Who starts?
In the creative sector.
I can start, because he opened the show. So good. Yeah.
So, Lion. There you go.
Carl, I think our artists need to start to work professionally, and they need to invest in their own career. They need to learn to delegate some responsibility to other people, because they cannot do everything alone. You understand? And then, speaking on the promoter side, we need to understand that every artist, you have to work with promoters, radio presenters. You have to work with, for example, agents. They need to also make sure they broaden their networks, because this is very important, not only in Gambia but outside Gambia. So these are very important. They need to organize themselves, have a good team, and then make sure they work professional, meaning anything they're gonna do, it has to be official. This will make sure that they are in the safe side.
Okay.
And promoters also in Gambia and outside, we have to stop booking artists verbally. We need to make sure it's black and white. This is good for you as a promoter, and it's good for artists also, because if you don't have a written contract with anyone, whether artist or a promoter, if something comes, you don't have anything to back up yourself. Then you will start blaming here and there. So to avoid all this, let's all work professionally. Make sure you have something in written. So it's very important. To add something here, for example, my issue with Grams Morgan. He just feel like because he's a big artist and then he can do whatever. So thank God I was with someone, a Gambian. You understand? He was saying that he didn't have money and all, but you can be very sure Grams, big artists like him. I worked with them for over 15 years, Morgan Heritage. He will never do a show without money. This is for sure. And the day I was giving him money, there was a brother standing right there. You understand? I left Germany and come to Helsinki, and the next minute I realized that he took the next flight going back to US. I got the notification in my email, then I contact him. He said, "Yeah, I left." So that's how it started. So he just tried to back up himself. But I have a contract. If I want to do something bad, I can just contact my lawyers and we take it another level. But thank God we discuss, and then until we
family,
can do.
family, because you are family, yeah.
Of course, sometimes some misunderstanding it happen in this music. Anything. Sometimes some situation will come. It depends how you handle it. We have to handle things professionally. It's not always like you have to jump in social media and start attacking each other. It doesn't help none of us.
Exactly.
Business, you do business, even no matter worse it can be, we have to handle business issues professionally. Social media is not to jump on each other, attack and here and there. It doesn't help. It doesn't help.
Thank you so much, Master Lion. I think we pick so many things about Susamen Arbeit. Hey, I'm speaking Dutch. Teamwork. You talk about teamwork, and you also talk about teamwork. You talk about management, and you talk about a lot of things which are very, very important. I think we will watch this.
Sorry, I will take humanity's last time. Sorry to interrupt. I have to say this loud and clear because so many people said I don't support Gambian artists. I definitely disagree with this. Master Lion is someone who really I'm always proud to see my artists, Gambians. So remember, so many artists I stayed in Helsinki, Gambians, so many of them, so many times.
So why not let us organize? You bring them to you. You
can name it. I see so many Gambian artists in here, So when they say I don't support them, sometimes
they are well organized. I can guarantee you.
Wait, it's my turn. It's my turn. I have to speak.
Yeah,
sorry.
Bring them. Why not?
No, Carl, wait. Master Lion, you have been doing with the reggae crew and all of that. It's about time you turn your face to us. To us, humanity stars.
Yeah,
I mean, take us to the diaspora. Let us start there.
I'm now behind the scene because I'm not organizing events.
No, you are not behind the scene, Master Lion. As you are doing your masters. No, wait, let me finish. As you're doing your masters, try to take us into account. You understand? Like get our things together and try to see what you can do for us. You've done something with the reggae boys. You understand? And you've done something with the Senegalese as well. No matter how you do it.
The Jamaicans as well.
And the Jamaicans. Exactly. There you go. So it's about time you think about us. Let us, inject the kind of music we do in the diaspora. Let them also have a taste of what the Humanity Stars does. You understand? I'm sure you can do that, Master. I'll give you that task. Work on it.
Okay.
You understand? Yeah, but in part of my conclusion, like Carl, I think the way forward for Gambian music is a collective responsibility, not only from the artists, but also in the Gambia as a society or as a nation. Because when the artist is trying to be professional here, let the Gambian people support. Even if you look at it, when it comes to viewing the artist, which is very, very important, people tend to pick and choose. And this is what is very different when it comes to Senegalese music. The guy that starts singing or doing some freestyle in the street, that's the guy you see as a superstar next day, because he's empowered and people get to push him. But with us, the tribal line is a big obstacle. The nepotism is a big obstacle, and some of these things, you name it. So it's about time we have one tribe, and that is Gambian. You understand that we push forward together, and if we do that, then we will get to a different level. But in as much as we're separated in our own ways, there is a little that we can do to impact our society. And take it from me, the boys that are driving good cars from their job as an artist, they organized it, they worked it for themselves, and not people supporting them to that level as in calling them. You understand? So I'm saying artists, let us try to be very organized, like Master Lion said. You understand? And let the Gambian people to come behind us and push us so that we can go in front. Without that, there is nothing that we can achieve together as a nation. It will be very, very difficult. And finally, I would like to thank some, so like the Gambia Red Cross Society. In fact, we're going to have a virtual concert that is going to be on the 1st of January, inshallah. And that one people can watch all over the world, and it's going to be online. You understand? We will share the in fact, we started sharing the information on the Facebook and all that. But with the Red Cross Society, the Alassane Senghor, thank you, Ngozi, and all of them, we thank them, to be quite honest with you. But I want to mention this specific person who is almost like Master Lion, and that's egalitarian. You understand? The likes of egalitarian, they've been supporting artists from day one. And Ega himself is an artist, but he's the one that would not hide anything, any single mistake. He would advise you from this to that, from that to that. You understand? So the type of person he is, I mean, he's just exceptional. I would definitely have to say, you know, thanks to people like Ega. You understand? And, you know, to the society. Let us just...
He's a great artist because I once had a conversation with him. Allow me to add something here that is, we as Gambians, whether you are a promoter, whether you are an artist or you are a band, as long as you are in the music industry, we need to understand that we have to unite. And sometimes it's always the problem. We as Gambians, we like to attack each other. We have to stop this sideline talking. Let's be professional. Whatever issue no matter what issue it can be, we have to be very professional. There are so many Gambian promoters, big time promoters in Europe here. Our artists need to make sure they work hard and identify those promoters. Not even me, but there are so many good promoters out there who can also support them. So we have to unite. There are so many promoters in Europe. We have to unite. Artists need to understand that they cannot do everything alone. They need the international market. So if they don't organize themselves, it is very difficult for somebody to book you in abroad, because I have seen it so many times. If you book a Gambian artist in some European countries, you fail. It's very difficult to pull Gambian people even to come and support. It's very difficult because our artists need to make sure their music is marketable outside. This is very important. So we cannot do this without if we don't unite. If we don't unite, it's very difficult.
And Master Lion, part of marketing our music, the artists need to do more play live bands, because you know most of the artists in the Gambia, they got hype, they're very good, but once we cross borders, it will be very, very difficult for them, because when you cross borders, rarely do you do playbacks apart from the Gambian.
Carl, we're gonna take your time. I have to say this when it comes to track show, because last time your interview, one of your guests was saying the way our boys perform on the track show. To me, it's really unprofessional, because you cannot play your full song and think that that's a playback. That's not play. You just play your full song. Track show, you need to have a TV track. We call it TV track. This means the producers need to provide every artist a TV track. So this is what you perform, not like a full song. Because these are all things that if somebody listens to your performance, they will see that this is not professional, because they can hear.
When you played Peter in Stuttgart, I was there. So you were the one who was playing the TV tracks.
Yeah, because I definitely I don't back artists with full song. That cannot happen, because it's not good for you as an artist. They need to understand they cannot perform on a full song. And secondly, I know we run out of time. We need to understand the setup of stage setting. It's very important for artists, because I have issues before in Gambia. There's so much people on stage. These are things, you know, stage need to be well organized. There are so many people watching you. So there are so much things
performing, and you have to have 18 people on the same stage. The artist wouldn't have space, they wouldn't have anywhere to dance, and at times the viewer or the audience wouldn't even know who the artist is. That's very funny. That's unprofessional. But Carl, time
So
before now,
it's a 1 hour 30 minutes. So, and then I must say I am very much grateful and honored to have you two gentlemen here tonight. And I guess our viewers also are very happy to listen to your views with regards to the music industry of the Gambia, how we can be able to collaborate and also coordinate, find ways to develop the music sector of the Gambia. So thank you so much.
Carl, I will interrupt you. Sorry. You remember Gale said when he was in Gambia and artists don't have time for him and so on. This is our artist problem. Me, I have experienced it myself. You are, for example, me as a promoter or any other promoter, you visit Gambia, and the artists know you are there. They don't even want to see you. They don't want to talk to you. So you cannot run after them. They need to understand that also nobody is gonna run after you because you need a promoter and the promoter need you. So the hype is too much. They need to understand we have to work together as one.
So I think our motive is identifying. Our interviews that we are doing, we are also identifying, stakeholders and potential, contributors to the music sector of the Gambia, both inside and outside. And we will document all these things and we will send it to the responsible structures that are available in the Gambia so that they can be able to put into account some of the things that are coming up in these interviews, because it's supposed not to just be like an interview and ends like that. We will do reviews and people like you, we will share these documents with you, and then you will also see what is interpreted in these documents so that it can be a document that everybody will be able to learn from, particularly institutions that are in the Gambia. So that is the motive. But again, what do you want to say? Maybe your last words. Maybe now you are not going to stop me. My guys are writing to me now. The engineers. Maybe your last. Master Lion, did you say your last to the viewers?
No, I didn't. But
definitely that there. I like you, Master Lion. I like you, seriously.
No, I was thinking you're gonna say something. That's why.
No, well, again, I would just say, let us just keep supporting what we believe in, and together we can make a better Gambia, particularly the music industry. And I would always urge people to deviate from, how much Ifata and Fansol and something like that. As much as we can try to separate that from professionalism, then we will definitely, get ourselves in the right direction. And the artists will see themselves at the point that they always want to see themselves in. So I think those are some of the things that are very important. And one thing about one park, I think apologize now. And definitely the intention, according to him, was far different from the way people took it to be. Personally, I was very, very annoyed. But when I heard him spoke yesterday at the open mic, I was definitely cool. And I said, one park, the Faham Solam, but he's very professional. Because apologize now, and I would urge the people to definitely, you can support. Let's still support him, and he's an artist too again. Forgive and forget. You understand? Yeah, man, Lola Gumdal. Yes.
So
why Master Lion? Yo, we need to talk. Yo, Dal, after trying on your link here, Majel Wagi, no man. That we have to talk about.
I will rotate. There is a rotation. There is a rotation. So I am get down. Why do down that didn't go here. Your last word.
My final word. Well, actually, I don't have final word, but the last word I'm gonna share is that I want to thank you, Carl, for the great work you're doing. I want to thank Gambian Talent Promotion. Really, they are doing great work. I want to thank all the artists, all the promoters. Once again, let's unite and make sure our Gambian music, our Gambian artists also have a bigger perspective, internationally. Because it's not only, it don't have to end only in Gambia. We have to target international market. And in order for our artists to reach international level, they need to set their own standards. Not the promoter. I cannot do it alone for you. The artists need to have a standard so that their music is marketable internationally. That will make it easier for any promoter to book you and to market you as an artist. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult, really and truly. It can't be. Once again, I am not organizing any event. I am behind the scene. I'm not organizing. I have to say this here. I'm not organizing any event or tour. But sorry, there are a couple of artists that I'm
just say behind the scenes.
Yeah, behind the scene, exactly. I have artists that I'm
behind the scene. So anyway, thank you so much. But I just also want to thank my brothers here with me. We have Buba Fadera all the way from the Gambia. He's the one brewing attire for me, as you can see. Nice. So I'm very much energetic at the moment. And also my dear brother, Nua Koma, they are right now with me. I mean, so, you know, it's very
you say thank you to Paos for me?
Yeah, we want to thank Paos also. Paos, right now, if you are watching,
he's my boss, you know, so I have to thank you.
Yeah, he was sleeping.
By the way, you guys look alike. I just said it here when I saw you, Master Lion. I first thought that it was Paos.
Yeah,
you guys look alike. You and Paos.
Paos is my boss. Paos is my boss.
Thank you very much.
Gambian Talents TV, Nunulela Doku Senayata. Gambia Talents TV, Nunulela Doku Betiata. Gambia Ngalado
Ngali Yendeo, Kwajulenata, Kamuzuko Lukidimandi, Nulenata, Ka Artisol Lukidimandi, Nulenata, Kajado Ganyandi. Nulanata o kajolol fanam fintindi.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillah.